End 2018, I experienced something that still makes me check my windows before going to sleep. I live in Northern Ireland on a quiet residential street. Across from my house is a row of small shops. At the very end of that row sits a pharmacy that's been there for as long as I can remember. One night, around 2 a.m., I was driving home after spending the evening at a friend's house. I was exhausted and barely paying attention to anything besides getting home and into bed. As I approached my street, I noticed a figure standing outside the pharmacy. At first, I didn't think much of it. People occasionally walked around late at night, and there were a few pubs nearby. I assumed it was someone heading home after a night out, but as I got closer, something felt wrong. The person wasn't moving, not pacing, not checking their phone, not smoking. Just standing perfectly still in front of the pharmacy doors. I slowed my car slightly. The streetlights illuminated enough for me to see that the person was dressed entirely in black. Black jacket, black trousers, black shoes, even black gloves. A strange feeling settled in my stomach. I had heard stories over the years about attempted break-ins at the pharmacy. Nothing major, but enough to make me wonder if I was witnessing something suspicious. As my headlights passed over the figure, the person suddenly lifted both hands and covered their face. Not casually, not like someone avoiding bright lights. They deliberately hid their face from me. That's when my pulse jumped. As I drove past, I watched through my side mirror. The person slowly turned their head, following my car with unsettling precision. They didn't move their body, only their head, watching, tracking, studying. I felt uncomfortable enough that I accelerated toward my house. Then I made a mistake. Without thinking, I pulled directly into my driveway. The moment I stopped the car, reality hit me. If that person had bad intentions, I had just shown them exactly where I lived. I sat frozen behind the steering wheel. The street was silent. My eyes drifted toward the pharmacy. The figure was gone. For a second, I felt relieved. Then another thought replaced that relief. Where did they go? 20 seconds earlier, they had been standing in plain sight. Now they had vanished. I hurried out of my car and ran to my front door. Within seconds, I was inside with every lock secured. My heart slowly began settling down. I texted my friend, mentioning the strange encounter. His response was immediate. "You probably scared him off." Honestly, it sounded reasonable. Maybe I'd simply interrupted someone attempting to vandalize the pharmacy. Maybe they panicked and left. I considered calling the police, but ultimately decided against it. I hadn't actually witnessed a crime. Just a weird guy standing outside a building. Eventually, I convinced myself I was overreacting. I headed upstairs to bed. Before closing my blinds, I looked across the street one final time. The pharmacy entrance was empty, no sign of the man. Satisfied, I closed the blinds, left my bedroom window cracked open for fresh air, and fell asleep. At least, I tried to. I don't know how long I was asleep before I woke up. The room was completely dark. At first, I couldn't figure out why I was awake. Then I heard it. A soft humming sound. I stayed perfectly still. The humming came again, slow, casual, almost cheerful. My stomach tightened. The sound was coming from outside my bedroom window. I checked my phone 3:30 a.m. I listened carefully. The humming continued, not moving closer, not moving farther away, remaining in exactly the same place. That's when I remembered something. My bedroom window was still open. Not fully open, but open enough. The realization sent a wave of panic through my body. Someone could be standing right outside, only a few feet away from where I was lying. I slowly sat up. Every movement felt painfully loud. My hands trembled as I reached toward the blinds. The humming suddenly stopped. Complete silence. My heart pounded so hard I could hear it. I carefully pulled one corner of the blind aside. What I saw nearly stopped my heart. Standing directly outside my window was the same man from the pharmacy, the exact same black clothing, the same gloves, the same stillness. He wasn't looking around. He wasn't checking if anyone was watching. He was staring directly into my room, at me. Both hands covered most of his face, but his fingers were spread apart, just enough for one eye to peek through. That eye never blinked, never moved. It was locked onto mine. For several horrifying seconds, neither of us moved. Then something happened that I'll never forget. The corner of his mouth slowly curled upward into a smile, a cold, deliberate smile, like he enjoyed knowing I'd seen him. I screamed. The blind snapped shut as I stumbled backward. My hands shook violently while I grabbed my phone and dialed emergency services. I was crying so hard the operator struggled to understand me. Within minutes, flashing blue lights illuminated the street outside. The police arrived and searched the area. Gardens, alleys, parking lots, behind the shops. The man was gone, completely vanished. However, they did discover one important thing. The front glass of the pharmacy had been smashed. The security shutters had prevented entry, but someone had clearly attempted a break-in. Whether it was the same man or not, nobody could say for certain. The police believed he may have noticed me watching him from my car. Perhaps he followed me to intimidate me. Perhaps he wanted to make sure I wouldn't report what I'd seen. Or perhaps his intentions were something much worse. I'll never know. Years have passed since that night. I've never seen him again. But every time I drive past that pharmacy after dark, my eyes automatically drift toward the exact spot where he stood. And every single time, I remember that horrifying moment when I pulled back the blinds and realized the man outside the pharmacy had never actually left.